Hey, we are back with the In Between the Lines podcast. I'm Jake, here with Jeff. What's going on, man?
What's up? What's up? What's up? I
Just a
know
little
you feel.
heartbroken.
I know
Just
you're a little sad, a little mad, a little pissed, a little disappointed, a little all the above.
yeah, more sad than anything. We've been talking about it for a couple weeks now. I mean, the injuries really caught up. And said once that other or the defensive back Robertson went down with that broken arm, I was just like, are you kidding me? I mean, even if we would have won that game, he's done for the season too. But, I was watching the game with my wife and I just kept saying it like every possession because we couldn't stop them. I said, the defense is trash. Defense is trash. And, she was saying, oh, the game's early. They've been winning. And I said, I know, but if the defense is trash, the offense has to be exceptional. And the offense wasn't exceptional. I mean, I think we had 5 turnovers. But to actually still put up 30-something points and be in the game with 5 turnovers to none from Washington is still pretty remarkable. But that's just not going to happen in the playoffs. You're not going to win. 1 turnover is a big deal in the playoffs.
I thought it was strange with y'all very first possession of the game. I have not seen y'all start out that slow like all season. I'm like, what was that? And then, y'all punted. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Washington did they score on their first possession?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, man, I said, this is. And then Jared Goff started showing why he is Jared Goff.
Yeah. I said, I don't have any hate for Jared Goff. I still really like Jared Goff, but yeah, he did not play well. Some of it, I mean, the turnovers weren't the play calls other than the one, but I didn't really like the play calling, especially in the second half, because we ran the ball very well in the first half. Ran the ball very well. And then
Gibbs looked awesome.
Yeah, and then completely went away from that in the second half. And then I know it's been what the Lions have done all year, but like I said, trick plays. I did not like the trick play that put the ball in Jamison Williams' hands to throw the ball down the field, not at that time. Like I said, that there's a time for that. Like I said, they've been doing it all year. They do silly things like that all year, and it's worked out a lot for them. But as soon as I saw that Williams was going back to throw, I got tense, and it was more like I was hoping, okay, hopefully something good happens here. But as soon as they showed it in the air, I knew it wasn't going to be. And then that really, I think that one really took the sails out. But yeah, I saw some people posting some things, some Lions fans. I mean, you know how fans are. I mean, I saw people saying dogging Jared Goff. I saw people dogging Dan Campbell. But one of the things that did interest me, and I'm wondering how much is to that, is a lot of people said they didn't look prepared, and they blamed the preparedness on Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson interviewing over the last 2 weeks. Instead of, like that's what they said. They said, all year, you're game planning. And this last 2 weeks, they've been interviewing. And somebody put that there should be some type of rule that those coaches aren't allowed to, when they're still in season, they shouldn't be allowed to interview. But I don't know. I think both of them are gone.
Yeah, your team is going to look a lot different. I'm not sure what so far as players, but I know the coaching is going to be, switched up a bit. That's if Aaron Glenn decides to leave. I don't know if he want to leave on the sour note, because the defense has not looked good over the last 4 to 5 weeks, maybe.
Yeah, last 5 weeks. Because even in the Minnesota game, like I said, I was there at that game. They were moving the ball. They just weren't scoring. Like I said, they would get it into the red zone and they'd either go for it in 4th down and we'd stop them, or we'd hold them to a field goal. But they were in the red zone 6 times in that game. So like I said, it was one of those bend but don't break games. But every other game that we've played in the last 5 weeks, we've been giving up points.
Yeah.
And like I said, and I don't blame that on Aaron Glenn. Maybe he could have changed some of his philosophy. He likes to play man on man and put pressure on and you start running out of personnel where you can't do that. I mean, there was no Jaden Daniels is a talented quarterback, and he had no pressure whatsoever.
Yeah, that's where I was going next, man. You know, you got to give a shout out to that kid, man. He is awesome. He's scary. I mean, he's scary good.
Like I said, I was thinking about that. I don't know if it was today or yesterday. I was thinking about that more for a you perspective. Like, I mean, do you regret that the Bears didn't pick him up?
You know, it's hard to say, man, because of our coaching situation. That offensive line, you know, I don't think we'll be a playoff team if we had them.
Yeah.
I guess that remains to be seen. But with Caleb Williams, but as of now, man, I'd pick them. Tom Brady, Joe Montana, Marino. I don't think nobody will look good behind that line that we have. It's horrible.
Yeah, I think Jaden Daniels is special. Like I said, I've never been sold on Caleb Williams. I think he's talented, but I think Jaden Daniels has that something different, and he's not he's not a diva at all. Like I said, to me, that's my biggest criticism to Caleb Williams is I think that he's a diva.
Yeah. Maybe he is, man. You know, I can't get past the fingernail thing, but well, that's my luck. You know, being a Bears fan. So, but I had every intention on coming on the show today, clowning you, make you eat crow about your team, and I can't do it, man. You look sad, but I am going.
I was sad all night as it was going on. I could just tell. Like I said, in the first half, I could just tell. It's like this isn't going to play out well. And then I was hoping that one of those things at halftime would come out and we'd fire it up. That Campbell gave one of those speeches, but
hey man, I got Dan Campbell crying at the podium. No, that was I'm like, come on, man, pull yourself together.
Right. Well, and I see. Yeah, it wasn't his fault. It was not his fault, but I get it. I like that leadership.
Man, yeah, I like him. Y'all got a cool coach, man.
But everything that I'm hearing is Ben Johnson's going to the Raiders, and I heard that Aaron Glenn just already signed up for a second interview with the Jets. So, like I said, I think they're both gone. I really do.
Okay.
I've heard, like I said, obviously they're not allowed to officially offer him anything yet, but I heard that Raiders are going to pay Ben Johnson like a ridiculous amount of money.
I could see that.
Mm-hmm.
I know we're going after him pretty hard too, but the Bears is not going to pay that kind of money though. I mean, if the Raiders is giving this astronomical amount, like you say, I know the Bears not going to match that.
You know, it was fun. One of the rumors that I've been hearing about it too, because I was thinking in my head, but I guess it does really depend on leadership too. But in my head, it seems like the Bears have the weapons that you would want if you were Ben Johnson. Like I said, obviously they have to shore up that offensive line. But to me, that's what I would draft somebody with that first pick with an offensive lineman. I would try to pick up a free agent. That's what I would do. And to me, it seems like the Bears are in a better place than the Raiders are. But I did hear a rumor that they thought that Ben Johnson was going to bring Hendon Hooker with him. Because he's already kind of familiar with the style. And I mean, I heard good things about him. Obviously, we didn't get to see him very much. But like I said, I don't know. That would be interesting. Where are the Raiders at in the draft? Do you know?
Yeah, we just looked at that. I know they're in the top 10.
Yeah, I want to say they're like 5.
3?
Oh, they're 3?
I'm about to look now, but they up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me see. 2020. No, they further down what I thought. They're 6.
6. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Did you watch the Baltimore Bills game yesterday?
You know, I was so frustrated watching that game. I don't understand why they wouldn't run Derrick Henry more.
Yeah.
I mean, they came away from the run game way too early, in my opinion.
Well, it was weird because, I mean, they held him somewhat in check in the first half. But in the second half, he was getting going. And so, yeah, it was a little surprising. I mean, that's kind of what I expected. I picked the Bills to win that one. But like I said, I know all the talks are going to be, even though that wasn't. Well, yeah, I mean, Lamar Jackson made some errors in the first half. Like I said, but he put them in a position to win
Late.
and then there was some other issues, some drop balls, some fumbles that weren't necessarily his fault, but he's still going to get all the blame. I mean, he's still going to have that label that, he can't win. I mean, I saw somebody post today that they had said that basically Jared Goff and Lamar Jackson are the same person in the playoffs.
That's crazy, man.
Isn't it?
I just don't understand. I mean, a guy like Derrick Henry, you got to feed him. 8 carries in the first half. I don't care how much you hit him. That's not enough carries to get. He can always pop one. You never know when he gonna break free. So I think it was 3 or 4 carries in the first quarter or something, and I'm just like, this is in those weather conditions. You want to get the run game going, but they wanted to air it out with Lamar Jackson, man. I don't understand that.
Yeah, I don't either.
But Baltimore always get out of character every year in the playoffs. They always do something out of their character. I don't know why they feel like they got to change up. Do it what you got.
Yeah, I don't know, because like several years now, I mean, going into the playoffs, they seem like one of the best, one of the hottest teams. And have they even made it to the AFC Championship game? I mean, I don't think Lamar's ever even made it to the AFC Championship. And like I said,
No.
it's not fair to say Lamar because it's a team sport. But obviously, he's going to get the criticism for that.
Yeah, and the tight end, Mark Andrews, the 2-point conversion that he dropped.
Mm-hmm.
But, another thing is these teams panic early and start going for these 2-point conversions. They went for a 2-point conversion in the third quarter. They should have just kicked the field goal. I'm like, man, so at the end of the game, you don't even have to go for 2.
Right.
But you leaving points out there, man. You don't have to always go for 2, especially that early in the game.
Well, then I was watching that the Philadelphia Rams game too. That was a good one. I wasn't actually watching that one because my girls had a basketball practice, so I was just kind of paying attention to it on my phone. And then, like, I was on my way home and I checked the score, and I think at that time it was 28-15 with just a couple minutes to go, and I was like, oh, okay, this one's over. And so just as I got home, I was starting to make something to eat, and my son had asked me about it, and so I just checked the score real quick, and it said 28-22. With 1:14 to go and Rams ball, I was like, oh shit, let me turn this on.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to win. I thought they were going to win for a second. They got it down to the 14 and then, it just didn't come through.
Saquon Barkley. I think 200. He had 200 yards rushing.
He had over 200, yeah. But like you said, those weather conditions, that's what you do. You feed it to somebody like him.
I don't get it. The Rams played that game a lot better than what I thought they were. Effort, he's played outside quite a bit being in Detroit, on no away games coming to Chicago and Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
I knew he was going to be fine, but the whole team looked good, man. They just, they lost their defensive end early in the game. That was a huge blow for them. But yeah, the Rams, man, I like McVay. I think he's a good coach as well. He's doing his thing over there.
Yes, he's a good coach.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm hoping that we can get something like that. I'm really not a fan of this McCarthy thing. They saying that he might be really our next head coach.
That's what I've been hearing too. It's funny. I read something the other day because I thought Dallas was going to keep him for a minute because they denied requests for some teams to interview him. How shitty is it to deny a request to let him interview and then fire him 3 days later?
It's Jerry Jones for you.
That is Jerry Jones.
You will never understand what's going on in Jerry's world.
Mm-hmm. I'm hearing there's a really, really good shot that Deion Sanders is going to be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys.
I don't know how he's going to finagle getting Shador there, but I guess the way to do it is, hey, don't draft my son.
I wonder though if he's actually the coach. Though, is there some type of interference rules? You know what I mean? I know there's interference rules with in free agency and things like that. And obviously, if he's not the coach, he's not even in the NFL. You can say my son ain't going to play there. But if you're actual an NFL team doing it, I wonder if there's any different type of rules. I don't know, but I mean, to me, it seems like there should be something in place like that.
But Shador can say himself, I don't want to play for you.
Yeah, that's true. They could hide it. They could hide it.
Yeah. And any player that tells me, I think I said this before, I don't want to play there, I'm not going to draft them. No way. I'm not.
Yeah.
No.
But
no.
Who are the picks I don't like? Except to me though, if I'm like a New York Giants and Dallas is in our conference, I'm drafting them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would. Okay. Oh, you're not going to play? Okay. Go back and play at Colorado without your dad.
Right. Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so there's ways to play the game. That's what I would do. But like I said, I'm not running a $1 billion business either. Like I said,
right.
Giants just can't be wasting first round draft picks like that either. I mean, I don't know that would happen or not. But
what was the other game? The Chiefs and the Texans.
Yeah, it was a competitive game. I mean, I thought Mahomes got some of his Mahomes calls, but
he did definitely.
Like I said, I didn't like some of them. I mean, like the out of bounds one, I really didn't like. To me, that was a bad look.
So, do you think Buffalo can go into Arrowhead and knock them off?
I think they can. I think they got the talent to do it. Like I said, Kansas City just hasn't impressed me. They just find ways to win. But I mean, Buffalo finds ways to win too, and I mean, Buffalo has beaten them. Josh Allen has beaten him. I think he's 0-3 against the Chiefs in the playoffs, but even those games have been close games. I know there was at least 2 of them where they lost at the end. But that goes back to but I think this is the Kansas City's least talented team out of the last 5 or 6 that have gone. Doesn't mean that they're not still good, but they're not that big threat. Being home definitely helps. But like I said, I think I'm picking Buffalo. I'm picking Buffalo to win it.
Yeah, me too. I hope they go in there and knock them off.
I do too. Like I said, I really like Josh Allen a lot. I really like him a lot. I'd like to see him get in there. And I'm rooting for Washington too. I want to see Buffalo and Washington. I like Jaden Daniels a lot. I think he's fun to watch. I think it'd be a good story. And it would be one of those games where I wouldn't care who won. I mean, if Washington went in there and won that against Buffalo, even though I like Buffalo, it'd be cool. It'd be cool to see.
Has a rookie quarterback ever went to the Super Bowl?
I don't know if I know they said he's never won one, but I don't know if one's gone to one or not. But that's what they're saying.
Dan Marino went kind of early. Yeah. I'm not sure. I don't think he was a rookie, but I don't know. I gotta look that up.
But the kid is good. The kid is good, but we'll see. Like I said, that's what I'm rooting for. I mean, if Philadelphia goes, it's not like I dislike Philadelphia. I like Saquon Barkley. Yeah, I like him. So
here it is. Here, no rookie quarterback has ever even reached the Super Bowl.
So that'd be impressive. That'd be impressive. Yeah. So that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping it's Buffalo and Washington. Buffalo and Washington would be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. Let me see. The Bills are what, 0-4 in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I remember all 4 of them.
And typically, since then, typically the loser of the Super Bowl, sometimes they don't even make the playoffs the next season. And these cats went to the Super Bowl straight 4 years and lost.
Yeah. I mean, went and lost 4 straight. Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because those were some really good teams too. I mean, those Buffalo teams were good teams. And like you said, it's a lot of times you lose the Super Bowl and you fall apart the next year. Like I said, they came back strong every time. They just couldn't do it. I mean, and a couple of them were missed field goals. I mean, they could have won a couple of those Super Bowls.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think they lost to Dallas twice. The first time they played Dallas, it was just a blowout, like 52-17 or something. It's crazy how I remember that. Uh, yeah, they lost to Washington, the Giants, and Dallas twice.
Yep. I mean, I just don't want to see Kansas City go. I don't like I said any other combination I'm fine with, and whoever wins I'm fine with. I just don't want to see Kansas City.
Yeah, yeah, man. Man, I'm hating your mood, man. I know you down and out, man. I know it. I can feel it. You
It was
need a
it,
hug, bro.
it was bad all weekend too. I mean, my Pistons lost that day. Red Wings lost that day.
I
Yeah,
was
it was.
pissed that Illinois lost to Michigan State by 2
Yeah, and a
points.
good one
Yeah.
too. Michigan had lost, I think, the night before in overtime to Minnesota, who was a horrible
Minnesota, yeah,
team.
yeah, yep. I watched that game.
It was like almost a half court shot buzzer beater in overtime, and it was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
well, then they played. Michigan played yesterday too, and they won yesterday, but it was an overtime to Northwest, so they had been playing good ball, but like so these last couple was like, ooh, it's almost like I don't know how much Michigan basketball you've watched this year, but it's almost like every time they start doing good and get ranked, and people start talking about them because they'd went on a nice little streak. They went out west and won at USC, won at UCLA, who was ranked.
Mm.
They beat another ranked team. They got put where they were top 20. And then I actually started seeing some articles where people were saying, "Oh, Michigan's the funnest team to watch. Oh, Michigan's one of the favorites to win it." And then they go and they lose to Minnesota, who hadn't won a game in the Big Ten. And that happened earlier in this year. As soon as they got ranked early this year, they went and lost their next game. And it's almost like they're reading newspaper articles and are like, "Oh yeah, we're good, and we don't have to do what we do." So we'll see. They are a fun team to watch, though. Me and the boys went and checked them out last weekend. They played Washington, and they're fun to watch. They got some good players.
Yeah, they are. They are. I'm gonna really start digging more into college basketball with the football season come to a halt here.
Yeah, I haven't been watching as much college basketball as I'd like to, but yeah, I'm gonna start watching. I mean, I've watched Kansas play a couple times. I've watched Connecticut play a couple times. I like Dan Hurley. I like him as a coach. I actually watch a bunch of videos about him and his coaching style, and I try to do some of his practice techniques and some of his plays for my girls because they're but he's a fun one to watch. But I was really hoping that Michigan and Michigan State would have their game against each other as both undefeated in the Big Ten is what I was hoping was going to happen. But yeah, then we lost that one. We're still right up there, but we'll see.
Yeah.
See, Illinois is good. Purdue is good. I'm talking about Big Ten teams. I think it's Purdue, Illinois, Oregon, Michigan State. I think those are the top ones in the Big Ten right now.
I feel like you're missing one. I need to look at their at the rankings there as well. Like I said, I really haven't paid attention much, not as much as I would like. But like I say, it's now that this NFL is coming to a close.
Right. We don't have we don't have that top 10 team. Usually we have somebody that's up there in the top 5, top 10, or a couple top 15 teams. We don't have that this year. We have like 5, 6 teams that are like in between 15 and 25, but it's not the same power that it has been in the past.
Michigan State is better than what I thought they were going. I don't even think they came into the season ranked this year.
They weren't. Neither them or Michigan were ranked to start, and now they're the two of the top teams out there. Michigan State's always good, though. I mean, Tom Izzo, I don't like Tom Izzo, but he's a good coach. They get pretty good talent. They don't get the top 5 school talents. They don't get the same players that Duke and North Carolina gets, but they still get good talent.
Do you know who the number 1 ranked team is?
Isn't it? Is it Texas?
Auburn,
yeah. It was Texas last week. Texas
have we ever seen?
I don't think we've seen them as number 1, but they've been solid the last couple of years.
Okay, I don't see Texas on here though.
Was it Tennessee? Is it Tennessee's up there?
Tennessee is 6.
Yeah, it was
So
Tennessee, not Texas.
yeah, so you got Auburn, Duke, what is this? Iowa State, Alabama, Florida, Tennessee, Houston, Michigan State, Kentucky, Marquette. That's your top 10.
Oh, so Michigan State's in the top 10?
Yeah.
That must have just happened this week, which makes sense because, like I said, they're on a streak. So, but yeah, those are some different teams. Like the SEC, the SEC is all that football people they were paying for football must be going to their basketball schools now.
Right. Okay. So I want your thoughts on tonight's game. So I know, well, for me, I'm kind of torn because I don't want to pull for Ohio State because it's gold blue, right? I'm a Michigan fan.
Right.
But at the same time, it'll just look good for the Big Ten to win the last two championships, and we can really throw that in the SEC face because they annoying.
Right.
I just wish Notre Dame would have joined the Big Ten years ago, man.
Yeah, I still think that's so silly that they're just not in a league, and I think that benefits them because they don't have to do a conference championship. I mean, I think that they still pull some decent games in there, but their games definitely aren't as their schedule is definitely not as strong as what the SEC or the Big Ten's is right now.
Yeah, because they used to play Michigan and Michigan State every year,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know who was responsible. I'm thinking that it's them that just took them off the schedule for good,
Yeah, yeah.
but
I don't know.
they got their Florida States and Boston College and what is it,
'cause,
USC?
yeah, they play for basketball. They're in the ACC. They're not
Right.
independent in basketball. They're in the ACC conference for basketball. So, yeah, like I said, I don't know. I understand what you're saying about it would make the Big Ten look sharp, but I can't do it. I can't do it. Like I said, to me, I guess I'm going to kind of go back to like I said, I usually like to root for the Big Ten. I usually Michigan above all. And then if Michigan's not playing, I'll root for Michigan teams, Michigan State, Central Michigan, Western Michigan, those kind of schools. And then if it's none of those, then it's Big Ten. But I just can't root for Ohio State. And I'm kind of going back to, what we talked about in that last episode. I think the SEC's dominance in footballs.
Oh, it's done.
It's going to go away anyway. So to me, I don't care about the whole rubbing it into the SEC. I think we're going to be able to rub it into the SEC for a while anyway. I can't listen to the Ohio State fans talking about winning a national championship. I just can't. I can't deal with that because most Ohio State fans that I know are ridiculously obnoxious. I got a couple that are good. My buddy TJ, you wouldn't even know he was an Ohio State fan other than the fact that you see him wear an Ohio State shirt or a hat. But he doesn't talk trash. He doesn't talk about them. Then I got a girl at work, Joanne, who's from Ohio, and she doesn't talk trash with her old staff. But every other one I know, ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So
yeah,
I can't do it. I'm going Notre Dame tonight. I'm rooting for Notre Dame, and I hope they destroy them, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen, but
I don't either. And I think Ohio State's going to win.
But I still think that Notre Dame has a shot. They defense is really good, man. But nobody is giving Notre Dame a chance.
Right.
I think it's going to be kind of close.
I hope so. They just pointed out something. They said this is actually the first time it's ever happened. So Ohio State and Notre Dame are number 1 and number 2 in the country of point differential per game. They said that's never happened before. So that's kind of cool.
Ohio State 28-24.
That's your prediction? Yeah. That's a fair prediction. So that's a fair prediction. I would like to see a good game. I would. I mean, like I said, I won't be mad if Ohio State was to lose like 56-0. That obviously would not make me mad. But like I said, in general, I like to watch a good competitive game. So,
well, you need some enjoyment, some joy in your heart.
Oh, that would really help my weekend out. I
think that'll make the whole state of Michigan feel good if Ohio State lose tonight.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's just funny. I've seen all these different posts, and like I said, it gets back to that obnoxious thing. And I'm not going to be silly and think that Michigan fans don't put obnoxious stuff in there too, and that all fan bases don't have it. I mean, I've been seeing people post stuff about Ohio State's the greatest team ever. If they win the national championship, it's the greatest run ever, and they put up the 4 games that they play. Nobody's ever gone through a stretch like that, or just all these different reasons why that they're still great. And then it's like, I saw somebody post something the other day too, that it was, at the beginning of the year, it was like, you built this team to beat Michigan and nothing matters except Michigan and we're going to destroy Michigan. And then they lost to Michigan. It was like, oh, the game's not that big of a deal. We're really playing for a national title. Oh, you hear all that kind of stuff. And it's like, it was funny. Even Urban Meyer had said something a couple years ago about, if you don't win that game, the season really doesn't mean anything. And like I said, obviously, if they win the championship, that's a big deal. But there's still got to have to be some. I love that senior class will left Ohio State never having beaten Michigan. I love that.
Yeah, that is kind of cool, huh?
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I don't like Ryan Day.
I don't either. I think he's a punk. I absolutely think, like I said, I think Jim Harbaugh sized it up best. When he came in, he took over a top-tier team already with a top-tier recruiting class, and then he came in talking shit right off the bat.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Jim said, when he had said that whole third hit a triple comment, born on third base and think they hit a triple. It fit so well. Jim Harbaugh's such a weird dude and says some weird things sometimes, but it was like, what a perfect analogy. Some people born on third base and they think they hit a triple, and that's exactly what Ryan Day is.
Yeah, man. I don't like the way I don't even like his face. I don't even like the way he look. He look weird.
Have you ever paid attention to Dave Portnoy, the guy from Barstool Sports?
I don't think so.
We've talked about him before. So he's the founder and owner of Barstool Sports, which is a huge thing, right?
Okay. And, that sounds familiar. Yeah.
Well, he's the one that back in the whole Bryce Underwood thing, when he was still committed to LSU, he's the one that said, I'll pay $3 million to get a transfer quarterback to come to Michigan. And so he's a big Michigan guy. He graduated from Michigan. But he posts videos all the time talking trash about Ohio State and Ryan Day. And so he's the one that he makes shirts too, like Barstool Sports. They're huge. But like,
so on Facebook or Instagram?
Instagram, TikTok, all that. It's just Dave Portnoy, Portnoy. But he's the one. I've seen a bunch of people over here right now that, like, there's some sweatshirts that have 4 and O, and like the O is Ohio State, and in the back it's got a picture of Ryan Day crying. He calls him Crying Ryan. He's put a bunch of shirts and stuff like that out there. He's funny. If you don't pay attention to him, you should watch him, because he's a big Michigan guy.
All right, I just started following him.
You've heard of Barstool Sports, though, haven't you?
Yeah. Okay.
I think that's actually where Pat McAfee got started. And I think Portnoy had hired him to be part of Barstool Sports, and he kind of gained a following, and then he went out on his own. But I think that's where he got started as well.
Okay. All right. He's funny. I'm gonna check him out.
Yeah, he's funny. So now that you said that the football season's almost over, you're going to start watching some basketball.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I ain't got no other choice. This is deep into it, basketball. I'm still trying to get into the NBA.
It's hard.
It's tough.
It's hard. Like I said, I'm just such a basketball junkie that I'm just going to watch basketball no matter what. And like I said, I still fall into I like the old school basketball better. I don't hate this new stuff. I understand why they do some of the stuff that they're doing, but it definitely isn't as enjoyable to just see people go down there and just throw up threes.
Yeah, they don't even run plays half the time. It's just
They do run plays, but like I said, it just depends on the situation. Like I said, somebody posted a video the other day, and it was like, "This is why nobody likes watching the NBA." And I think it was Phoenix and Los Angeles, and it was about a 3-minute clip, and we're talking about 10 possessions between the two teams, and it was about 15 3-point shots, and most of them weren't even like a pass. It was rebound, the guy dribbles down, pulls up for a three. The other team gets the rebound, goes right down, pulls up for a three.
See, yeah, that's not running a play.
That's the complaint. But
Right.
yeah, I mean, if you actually sit there and watch a game, they do run stuff, because like I said, I mean, I've looked up. I mean, once I started coaching this year, I'm always looking for new things to run and new options to run. And they do a lot of stuff, but a lot of the stuff that they do is to set up three. I mean, it's still to set up threes, but they're still running stuff to get those players open and the cuts off of them, stuff like that. But every shot is either a 3-point or a dunk, it seems like. That's what the issue is. There's no mid-range game anymore. I mean, there's no post at all. You very rarely see a post. Like I said, I can still appreciate it. It's funny. I was listening to the argument the other day, and this what kind of cracks me up. I mean, all year people have been talking about the product and why viewership is down and things like that. And so then it was your boy JJ. I thought you had his jersey and everything. No. So he started kind of mouthing off, and he was saying that, oh no, the product's not bad. And what it is all these old school heads that are commentating and doing these shows are constantly saying it's a bad product. So then that's all that's getting thrown out there is a bad product. So everybody thinks it's a bad product. And it's like, no, they're saying that it's a bad product because it's the bad product. That's why they're saying it. So then I heard I've seen some Facebook battles with people where they're saying, oh, it's because all these old heads are complaining about these new people. And it's like, no, that's not where it started. The new people run around calling the old players plumbers and saying the old players, there was no competition and that they're so much better than than the old players. Like I said, it's been a back and forth between all that. So like I said, it's kind of frustrating. Like I said, I think my personal opinion is I think the talent level, the athleticism right now is better than it's ever been. But the basketball IQ in the game itself was way better back then. And I think it was Michael Jordan that once said, he had said, talent will win basketball games, but teamwork and intelligence wins championships. And I think the teamwork and intelligence back in the day was way better than it is now. I mean, to me, like I said, everything is AAU basketball: run, shoot threes. But yeah, the players are talented. But to say that the players back in the day weren't talented is silly.
Yeah. That I don't even pay that stuff no attention.
Mm-hmm.
They crybabies, man. They hoes, all of them. Today's NBA is just soft to me.
And like I said, even the guys that I really like I said, I mean, some of these guys that I really like Luka Doncic. I really like Kevin Durant. I really like some of these players that, yeah, you watch them and they're absolute crybabies. Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving's a weird dude, but I mean, skill level, he's good. And like I said, there was people that whined back in the day, but not like they do now. Like I said, it's literally nowadays, every player thinks that they've gotten fouled on every single shot, and then at the same time think they never commit a foul. I mean, so that's tough to watch. Like, so there's a couple that don't. I was trying to figure out. Like I said, I'm such a fan of Jordan and Kobe and things like that. I was trying to figure out if there is anybody out there what players in today's game are the most like that mentality wise. Because to me, that's what really separated Jordan and Kobe from like LeBron. Is, to me, LeBron doesn't have that same killer instinct, that same fierceness that those guys had. Like I said, Giannis a little bit. Not, I don't think.
I think Anthony Edwards has it a little bit. up in Minnesota?
I think he has it a little bit. I would agree with that. I would have to pay a little bit more attention. Like, so one of the things that I loved about Giannis, which is more similar to like I said, Jordan and Kobe, is Giannis ain't trying to work out with any of these other players during off season. You know what I mean? He's like, no, I'm trying to beat those guys. Why am I going to work out with them? And that's how Kobe and Jordan were. But a lot of these other players, they team up and they work out with each other and they do these open runs with each other and they're all friends. And I think how close they've become makes it where it's less competitive in the game. They don't have that. I'm trying to rip this dude's throat out. I don't see that. But like I say, Giannis has that mentality a little bit. I can see it with Jimmy Butler a little bit, but Jimmy Butler's a weird dude too. He's very much a diva and prima donna. But I can kind of see it with Anthony Edwards. I like Anthony Edwards.
Yeah. Yeah, Jimmy Butler, he does have it. He has that mentality, but boy, I guess nothing still hasn't happened with the trade because he is really trying to get out of Miami.
Well, that's where some of it I would say is a little off too with him because, like I said, if you've paid attention to him, he won't have the greatest of season, but then he'll turn it up in the playoffs. You know, playoff Jimmy, things like that. Kobe and Jordan weren't doing that. Kobe and Jordan playing hard all year, and Jimmy I don't think does that, but he still has that screw you to the other players mentality. I ain't trying to be friends with nobody. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I think Russell Westbrook has it a little bit, actually. Russell Westbrook has that mentality where, like I said, he goes, you ain't on his team, screw you. You're on his team.
Right.
But I guess some of it with him, you're on his team sometimes still screw you. But he's got a little bit of that killer instinct in him.
We know Draymond Green got it.
I can't stand that dude. Can't stand that dude.
Man, he gonna kick you in the nuts and karate kick you, chop you. I mean, he gonna do. That guy's ignorant.
I think he's one of the most overrated players out there.
Wow, really?
I do. I mean, he's had the benefit of, where he made his name, they had Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and then even for a couple of years, they had Kevin Durant as well. Whenever those guys have been injured or not on the team, what is he out there doing? As Charles Barkley would say, a quadruple single.
Yeah, he wants the title as the greatest defender ever.
Yeah, he ain't.
Yeah. And he even said a lot of, some things about the past players and said that the offense he was talking about the Bulls, actually said that the offense was dial up internet. And what we do now is high speed internet. And I'm like, oh, this guy, he has no clue.
No, he's a punk. I mean, I read something the other day where they were saying that he'd shut down Shaq. He'd shut down Prime Shaq. And it's like, I'm not even going to read the rest of the article because that's some stuff don't even deserve a response.
I keep on scrolling.
Yeah. He said, yeah, I'm not a fan of that guy. Not a fan of that guy at all.
All right. Is that it?
Yeah, I think so. Like I said, I am still a little sad and disappointed. Pistons are about to play right now. Maybe they can make me happy.
Yeah. Yeah, that was I can't lie, man. That was a tough loss. I didn't see Detroit going out like that. I mean, at the very least, I thought they was going back to the NFC Championship game.
Yeah, I kind of thought that. I felt we matched up pretty well against Washington, but I knew the next one would be a struggle. But like I said, all those defensive players, it's tough. It's tough. Like I said, you have to play perfect, and they did not play perfect.
Yeah, I told him at work yesterday, right before it started, I said, man, I don't think Washington ready for this. I think Detroit about to smoke them.
Yeah.
And it was the total opposite. Then I seen something, this is Detroit's first home playoff game. And did they play at home last year?
It seems like their first game was at home. but their second one was not. It seemed like the first one against the or was it the Rams or the Bucks? Wasn't it the Rams? Because
I think it was the Rams.
Yeah, because Stafford came back to home. Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah. I seen something where they was trying to charge people $1,000 to park in the parking lot up there in Detroit.
Jesus.
And I was just like, man, that just pissed me off even more. I said, man, the people in Michigan get on my nerves.
Yeah.
Why would you do that? As excited as the state, the city is about this team, man, but I heard it got shut down though.
Good.
But come on, man.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. All right. Well, I said I am excited about tonight's game. It's weird saying go Irish, but that's what I'm rooting for.
Yeah, man. I got doing some meatballs and some wings, and I'm doing
nice.
a little mini Super Bowl spread.
Nice.
Yeah, because I worked all weekend. I didn't get to sit down at home and watch the game, but I'm gonna sit down and enjoy this one tonight.
Awesome. All right. Well, you wanna sign us off?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Y'all keep Jake in your prayers. Y'all keep him in your prayers. Keep the whole city of Detroit in your prayers. They down and out. I'm not gonna clown them like I had planned to, But just keep them uplifted. Continue to check us out on all platforms. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, you name it, we there. Continue to like, subscribe, comment, share, drop a comment on us. All right. Much love to you guys. Enjoy tonight's national championship game, whoever you pulling for.
Yeah. Let us know who you got. Guys. Until next week, signing off. See ya.
All right. Later.